Bonk. 27 trillion? What? Yeah, there you go. That's the Belial boss fight. 2 trillion in his face, guys. 1. Bonk. We did it! One shot bonk. Hey everybody, it's Robbie. As you've seen in the intro, the big bonk Barb is back in business, hitting for up to 30 trillion. This build has also on a pit 160 as of the current leaderboard. And we are so back with some big bonks. Quick disclaimer, guys, this build is pretty hard to play though. It's not your normal, you know, like brain off, hold down whirlwind Barb build. This is like a rotation-based playstyle. But if you do everything right, you get rewarded with some big bonks. I'm gonna have the full planner and everything linked down below. There's also gonna be a speed version that we're gonna be talking about here, and we're gonna explain the rotation here in this video that you can also follow along in the planner right here. So the main playstyle here is around Mighty Throw and the new Bane Adja Den gloves. They've been introduced like 2 seasons ago. You get a ton of Mighty Throw ranks, and every 12 seconds you get like the biggest bonk you can think about here with these big 7x DPS, and you also get another 6x DPS on this delayed extension. I don't even have the perfect aspects, and I think my highest hit right now is 27 trillion. I quickly show you how about the gear and the skills, and then we'll talk about the rotation here. So we are playing Harlequin's Crest with cooldown. This is important for 2 reasons. Obviously, it gives us more skills as well, but you also get the cooldown reduction that helps you with the delayed extension. You notice here, like our Mighty Throw goes on big cooldown, 12 seconds every time, and it also gets another multiplier from the cooldown reduction. So this 54% cooldown reduction is 54% damage multiplier, and that's also the reason why we take the weapon mastery cooldown reduction on things like amulet and rings. And you also need enough resources, 200 in fact is the breakpoint, to get the instant damage boost from your Wrath of the Berserk, like for some big bonks. You saw there are 5 trillion bonk. I just didn't even do all the buffs and all the rotation. So you gotta spend 200 fury in 1 hit to get the maximum bonus from Wrath. That's why the Shaco is so good. Shroud of False Death is just a king always, biggest DPS you can get, and also resource generation is very nice here. And then obviously the new gloves, this just enables the whole build. Ideally, the most important GA is the Mighty Throw, but the cooldown again is another multiplier for the weapon. So that's really good. The fury per second helps as well, but the secondary is what's really important. So you want secondary first, then Mighty Throw, then cooldown reduction, and then the rest. And then you have Tybet's Will here, also helping you to reach this 200 fury breakpoint. Unfortunately, I don't have a greater affix fury on my ring, so I have to master work the Tybet's Will to reach this fury, but there's also some other ways in your Paragon and in your skill tree that we'll talk about to reach this 200 fury breakpoints. You can see all the breakpoints to make the rotation smooth here in the written planner version as well. So you want 75 attack speed and 200 fury. We'll talk about those a bit more in detail in a second here. And we'll also watch and go over the entire rotation step by step. Then Metamorphosis here, Warcry, Mighty Throw, Pulseize. This allows you to triple hit and one-shot the Pit 100 boss. As you've seen in the intro, you just go there, you do 1 big bonk, and the Pit 100 boss says sayonara. You do a rotation every 12 seconds. Then we have the delayed extension here with the 100% Mighty Throw. Anything above 100 doesn't really do anything. I don't have crazy gear. You see, this is just 1 GA stuff. Here a couple 2 GAs with Wallop, and then you want like usually like full overpower damage. You have the Vehemence Brawler, you have the Herculean Spectral, and then you have the Encroaching Wrath. And we spent a lot of fury here with our Wrath of the Berserk and with Quaxrune to basically trigger this and trigger the Red Furore with spending fury as well as trigger our healing and trigger our Wrath of the Berserk fully juiced damage multiplier for up to 100% X. Then we also have the Conceited here, very important to have attack speed. You get barrier from your season stuff, so you're rocking Bottled Wind, you're rocking the Shadow one here for damage reduction, Fractured Core to remove the damage resistant auras, Bloody Charm to execute, and then the Disintegrate. I like to have it on one of the shouts. You can also put it on your Ground Stomp or on your Mighty Throw, but I think the shouts is like the biggest range, and this just removes the damage resistance, guys. Pretty comfortable. And then we are rocking the Earthquake one here on the weapon. Brute Force, a very important, biggest multiplier. Also Mighty Throw size and cooldown cooldown reduction, further giving you multiplicative damage thanks to your delayed extinction. Then you want to make sure that you select the two-hand bludgeoning weapon, your big mace, on your big mighty throw. This is the big damage. The Hoda Bonk is just there to give you another 1.4x multiplier from the overpower. So both of them are really good. But mighty throw is like where all the damage is coming from. And you want it on the bludgeoning weapon because you get a ton of multipliers, including this Wallop key passive that we masterworked here. That is a tremendously powerful, and we overpower on every big bonk. Expertise, we have again the 200x and the mace selected. Skill tree, just going quickly over this, looks like this. So just 2 points to unlock. Then we are playing the Hoda for 1.4x. We are playing Warpath for 1.16x. If you are missing Fury, you can put some more points in Tempered Fury. You just need to make sure you have 200 to get enough resources for your Wrath multiplier. Ground Stomp, reducing your ultimate cooldown. Then we have some Toughness. We have Rallying Cry to restore that Fury because we need it for the big bonk right after. War Cry maxed, and then I have like one more point here. I put it in Raid Leader. You can put it in like in Fury or wherever you need it, but like there's like some options here. You definitely don't need Booming Voice for this one because you just need your shout up whenever your big bonk is coming up. But having some healing, having some damage reduction helps a lot. Big bonk here, of course, with Warrior's Mighty Throw. And then you're like rocking all the multipliers. You want to get a ton of Fortify when you do the big bonk. So you have the max multiplier on all of that. And then you have a full max Wrath of the Berserk with Unconstrained. And yeah, crazy Wallop here. I have 28 points in Wallop. We have 11 points in Brute Force. So this is 88x and this is 140x. That's a pretty crazy multiplier. And then Paragons, we are rocking Might. We are rocking Blood Rage. We are rocking Challenger. You know, you play the Might. It's like usually not that great, but you get a 20x to healthy enemies. And if you just one-shot them, you get the full multiplier benefit. Decimator here for more OP damage. With Dominate for even more OP damage. Then we are rocking Weapons Master here with Crusher for even more OP damage. Also, this is also the reason why we assign a mace, so we get a 20x from Crusher. And then we are playing Bone Breaker here with the Weapon Master. And many people ask me, but Rob, you don't have this glyph active. I actually do. I just don't have the additional bonus, which is completely useless. We just use it for the main bonus because it gives us 14x multiplicative and gives us 300% to the rare nodes. And the Brutality, ultra brutal node is in range here, giving us 500% extra overpower damage. Pretty crazy here, I would say. And we're just having a good time with this, and this gives a ton of DPS. And now to the most important part. First of all, you want to hit these breakpoints, and then we'll talk about the rotation. So you want to have 75% attack speed and 200 Fury, guys. Your crit chance and stuff doesn't matter because you get it from the Red Furor. You want to have this 200 Fury, again, to get the full multiplier from Wrath. You see, as I use my Wrath, it spends all my Fury, and then it generates it again, and then we can do a big bonk here for like 4, 5, 10 trillion if I have actually all the buffs. But this is like a pretty important to have 200 Fury. So if you don't have this, you can either masterwork it Tybet's Will, but if you don't want to do that, you can, like I said, put this point into Tempered Fury. You see, like if I do this, boom, boom, then I have more Fury, right? Or you can put more points into your Paragon board, like depending on how you did stuff. Here, like I, for example, right now have everything here. But if you already have 200, you can just put out some points and then put the point here and save 2 points. But you want to have 200. And then the next breakpoint you want to hit when you're buffed for the rotation to be a lot smoother is attack speed. You need 75% attack speed for a good breakpoint so you can throw and then hold up very fast consecutively to benefit from the buffs. Because what we do first in the rotation is we throw Mighty Throw. And as Mighty Throw is like traveling through the air, so like, let's just do it from like a bit range here. So you Mighty Throw, and as it's throwing through the air, you Hoda before it hits. So you want to be really fast, like right after Mighty Throw, you want to hit your Hoda to get the 1.4x multiplier here. It's not that easy to time, but once you get the hang of it, it works. And for that, you want to have 75 attack speed. We get 27. I get, so if we're starting at 0, just put it here. So we need 75. We're getting a 27 from our ring, so minus 27. Right here. So we get 27 from the ring. Then we still need another 22 here from the other ring I'm getting, minus 22. That's already 26. Then we're using, for pre-buffing, we're using the Elixir of Advantage, Ancient Times for Strength, Vitamin Buzz, and Soothing Spice. So you need the Elixir of Advantage, giving you another minus 15. So that only means we have 11% left that we need to get. And if we go on our Paragon board, and we go right over here to Nimble, this gives us 5%. This gives us 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. So that's like 12.5. And once we get that 12.5 from the remaining 11, we get 70 minus 1.5. So that means we have 76 attack speed. And that's exactly, you know, what the sheet, for once, man, the sheet is actually correct. So this is my actual attack speed, and you need 75%. So that's how I reach the breakpoint. These 2 breakpoints are really important for the rotation that we're going to talk about right now. For that, we're going to, first of all, use the video. So here's the full rotation written down. So Wrath of the Berserk first to pull the enemies in. I'm just doing this here, like Wrath, boom, okay, pull in the enemies. And then secondly, you're doing Ground Stomp. Ground Stomp is there. It procs your, it stuns the enemies so that it can't cast any stuff. And it also procs the Earthquake. And when you have the Earthquake, you know, you're getting the big multiplier here. And then once you have done that, now you can like chill for a second if you want. But then you want to do double Warcry, like both Warcries. Then you want a Mighty Throw, and then you want to immediately hold her. So there's like a bit of a breather here, like 1 second breather in the rotation. Like you just set up the pull. You have a 1 second breather. How do we type this? 1 second break, or like 1 second chill break, you know. And then these 4 need to be performed like pretty fast in a row, right? So we do it slow one more time. So we do Wrath, we do Ground Stomp, and then we do double shout Mighty Throw Hoda. So double shout Mighty Throw Hoda. Boom. Okay, that was like 2 trillion because I waited a bit too long. And all this needs to be timed with your rotation. So with your overpower procs. That's why this build is not like super beginner friendly, and it's a bit of an advanced build. This is the written rotation. You got to get a hang of it a bit. And I'll show this here in some gameplay. So I slowed this down a bit. So I'm basically making a pull here. I'm probably going to show you some solo gameplay as well. So you make a pull. You use your Wrath. Boom. You use your Wrath of the Berserk to pull the enemies together. Then you use your Ground Stomp. And you do this like while all this overpower is not activated. You see there's 11 seconds left on the bracers. And now you want to cast both of your Warcries. Then you want to throw. And as the throw is in the air, you are doing, this is the Hoda hit. I throw, I already threw. You see the weapon is there, it's flying. You do the Hoda hit in that time. And then you hit for the big bonk. This was the highest hit, 27 trillion. We can see it here in the next rotation, so you're just watching your rotation. Ideally, if you did the rotation right, your decimator, which is this icon here, and your bracers, your gloves should be synced like this. They should all be at the same, because you overpower at the same time. And then you see at 10 seconds, you cast, when this says 10 seconds, you cast your Wrath, like I do here. Then you cast your Ground Stomp, and then you have another 1 second time. See, this is the 1 second breather. And now, double shout, as it says 12, double shout, then Mighty Throw, and then immediately Hoda. And then big explosion. Double shout, throw, Hoda. Boom. And like what should happen if you watch it at slow motion? First, the first overpower is coming from your Dominate. The Dominate gets consumed by the Mighty Throw. And then your Decimator procs your Hoda overpower, but the Hoda overpower should hit first. So you get the small hit first. You see when I'm doing this? Small hit, this is the Hoda hit, just hits for 3 billion. And then the big hit follows immediately after, as your weapon throw lands. And with that, you can one-shot everything. It's pretty sick. One big problem that this build has is getting all res. I definitely recommend getting the resistance, like all resistance on the ring and masterwork it. You can also get it on the boots. You can also get Rahir. Like right now, I'm playing Subu because I just love to have map pack, right? But if you don't have this, Rahir with the res is also very good. And I don't mind really, like I'm like pretty tanky already, even though I don't have like all the res at max. Look, this is my res right now. So it's not that great. Again, you can get res on the boots and you can get res from Rahir. But I just like big bonk, so I just chose to get movement speed here to get a bit more utility. But when you're pushing, you don't need movement speed, right? And yeah, this build is completely crazy. You can also play a Whirlwind version of this. That looks like right here, because they basically changed Whirlwind to buff your weapon mastery skills by 35x. However, I don't really recommend this. This works as well, but like this one boinks harder, this one boinks bigger. And there's also a speed variant you can play for farming. It looks like this. I use this for goblin farming. This is just a speed variant with floaty bubble and unstable anomaly. This just allows you to like basically farm the goblins and blast some stuff here on the Barb. Having a good time here with the Mighty Throw. You can just fly around and yeah, just blast the enemies down here with your Mighty Throw. So there's like this speed variant. I'm also going to link this below. And I'm going to show you here a lot of gameplay. We have a 2-player. We also have a lot of solo gameplay. You can do like Pit 100 in about 2 to 4 minutes, depending on your gear and stuff. I usually do it in about 3 minutes. And yeah, that's pretty much the build. It is a bit dependent on RNG, what you're getting. And the rotation, again, we can do it like one more time here. So right now, obviously, the stuff is like not 100% correct, but we can just do, for like simplifying it, you can just, whatever, you just don't watch, like every 12 seconds, you just do Wrath, Groundstorm, Shout, Mighty Throw, boom. See, like 4 trillion here. We're already hitting 4. And now, as you're watching your rotation, you can do it properly. So at 10 seconds, you want to cast your Wrath, and then you want to cast your Groundstorm, and then you need to wait. And now we should be synced. We can do it again. Boom. 5 trillion right there. My Hoda didn't go off as fast. Like, sometimes it's very hard to get your Hoda to go off smoothly after the throw because of like some ping issues and like the way that the skills are like sometimes scheduled like in a row. So boom, boom, boom. And you can see when it worked when your Hoda is actually at 1.4x stack. But yeah, this build is super insane. You can hit for some pretty big bonks here, and you can have some fun here in some speed setup scenario. I'll show you some of the big bonks here. I hope you enjoyed. Again, the planner with all the written stuff is going to be below. Again, it's hard to play, guys, but once you get it going, you're bonking for some big DPS. Hope you enjoy. Let's go. A druid always puts on a few more pounds, man. There's a druid. That's the nature of him. Okay, big bonks. 2, 1, bonk. Boom, 18 trillion. Let's go in here. 2, 1, bonk. Chop. 20 trillion every time, man. 2, 1, big bonk. 16 trillion. I'll stay here, is good. 2, 1, bonk. Yeah, it's going, man, I'm telling you. Okay, let's do it here in the middle. We have space, we have space. 2, 1, boom. 16.8. We're gonna bonk here. 2, 1, big bonk. I'm gonna do one more with this shrine. That's gonna be nice. Okay, do it right here. 2, 1, let's go. 12 trillion. Two, 1, big bonk. 22 trillion. Oh man. The Barb is back in business. Oh, I did the wrong order. It's not gonna be a big bonk. Sometimes I press the wrong button. I gotta wait now a second. Big bonk coming anyway. Chop. 12 trillion. Oh man, I could have done this bonk like a lot better. We can do it here now. 2, 1, sayonara. 18 trillion. Okay, just do a quick one here. Don't have to move. Gonna prepare the big bonk. And chop. 26 trillion, man. I hope he's gonna spawn. 2, 1, bonk. Boom! Man, he just melts, dude. Okay, that's fun. Just one shot the boss in a pit 100, man. Big Barb bonks. with Mighty Throw and the Holder. Oh, this is a ton of fun. This is the setup here, boys. Harlequin's Crest, Shroud of the False Death, the big bonk gloves, Tyrant's Will, Metamorphosis, so you can like teleport and make stuff vulnerable really quick. Then we have the Delayed Extinction. We have a Vehement Brawler, and I spent very wisely. I spent all my Obuduk side on this, so we got some wall-up hits on everything. So just spent the Fury basically with Seer Tool, Igni Quacks. Then we're rocking attack speed here with the Ring of Red Furor. Guaranteed crit, guaranteed big bonk when you spend the Fury. Very nice synergy here with the Encroaching. Earthquakes on the Amulet, and Conceded. We get the Barrier from right here. Bottled Wind, Fractured Core, Bloody Charm. The rest is not that crazy right now because I'm playing like offensive movement speed boots. You can roll rest on the boots if you want, if you feel like you need more rest, but I'm pretty okay with my current rest. But there's always more rest to gain, of course. Expertise here with the Axe, Assign Bludgeoning, because big wallop is crazy. Like we get, I don't even know how big the multiplier is. I would say yes, 140x on wallop. Unconstrained. And then like Wrath of the Berserk, Mighty Throw with Warrior's Mighty Throw. And then just, you know, like going with the Shouts, going with the Groundstorm, and going with the Hoda for the 1.4x. A ton of fun. Paragonies, Might, Blood Rage, Challenger, Decimator, Dominate, Weapons Master, Bone Breaker, Weapons Master, and Crusher. So this was Bone Breaker. Look, dude, they're all called Weapon Master. Weapon Master and Weapons Master. Okay, I get it. And then right now we're just rocking with like a Druid here that does like pulling some stuff, but it's not really needed. It's just a ZDPS Druid, basically. He's just there, you know, pulling some stuff, having some fun, helping some people from the community. And obviously we're going to upgrade our glyphs here. Planner is, as always, boys, the planner is always linked below. I think we just bonked for 27 trillion, man. And this is the Mighty Bonk one-shot. You can also play like a speed hack version here. That one is also a ton of fun. So yeah, let's go get some big bonks. All right, boys, this is the big bonk Barb. I finally got some new boots. Bonk. Idea is to bonk them. I don't have max rest still, so it's it can still be like a little bit on the problematic side. But man, we bonked them. We bonked them good. Therefore, I have all the movement speed in the world. That's usually what people are looking for. Movement speed. All of them bonked. We're doing a pit 100. Big bonks. For trillions and trillions. I'm a bit more focused on the speed setup here. 2, 1, bonk. Boom, 8 bonk, trillion. Okay, what do we get here? This one's also gonna get bonked big time. Chop. Chop. 2, 1, bonk. Bam! All dead. Yeah, we're gonna keep bonking. Oh, protection. That's going to be very nice for bonking. So boom, boom, and bonk. 10 trillion. That's the way, boys. We can also one bonk the boss. It's a bit RNG with the damage roll that we get. So we need 2, 1, bonk. Boom, 12 trillion. That's going to make them vulnerable for a sec. Chop, chop, 2, 1, bonk. Bam! 9 billion again. Just having a fun time with this. So the Wrath pixels them in. You see, like, boom, big bonk. 8 billion again. Okay, sure, we get artillery. And I must make sure we get them Vern. Nice and easy. And big bonk. I'm probably gonna do one more bonk here. Some more packs. 2, 1, bonk. 10 trillion again. Okay, I gotta go a bit down here. Just get all the bonks, man. 2, 1, bonk. Bam. Or new Roderick favor. Okay, then we can bonk this here as well. Just get them all juiced up. And bonk. Boom, and then there's the boss. The boss is right here. Ooh, we got the Seahawk. So we need to 2, 1, bonk. I didn't get minions here. Like, if you get the minions, you can 1 bonk hit. Didn't get the minions yet. 2, 1, bonk. Sayonara, boss. Yeah, that's how we bonk the solo, man. Let's go. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.